Welcome to the Valt Auto Podcast. We are your car culture cultivators. So excited for the great show we have tonight. Before we get started, we want to introduce ourselves. Again, my name is Sean.
VJ.
Joe, how's it going?
And I'm Ian.
Ian's our guest host tonight.
Hello.
Good. Ian, do you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Oh, I'm still the same as I always have been. So I'm the Ian Flanagan, local weird car aficionado, and local territory manager for Hagerty here in the Bay Area.
Sweet. Dude, we certainly appreciate all the support that yourself and Hagerty has given us through this great adventure that we've been on. And with that is Joe. What do we have going on?
Yeah, so a lot of things have happened in F1 this week that VJ could touch on a little bit, but it's been an entertaining week at my house. I don't really know anything that's been happening. VJ can enlighten us. So what's been going on?
Oh man, it's quite a lot. So they say more stuff has happened in the last week in F1 than the entire 2023 season, where one guy was winning like 20 out of the 21 races. So like there was nothing much to speak about last season, while the last 1 week it's been like enough for a whole season of Drive to Survive. Enough stuff has happened. So first being what everyone's heard of, Lewis Hamilton has made the shock move from Mercedes to Ferrari. That's where he says he wants to end his career. So that'll leave him with like a solid legacy of having won races with McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari, the three biggest names in Formula One. So he is
races.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm new to this. How the hell that happened? Isn't he like Mr. Mercedes?
Yeah, that's what, like he had committed to a 2-year deal with Mercedes like a couple of months ago before the winter break. And then like Ferrari approached him and they were talking to
There was a Craigslist ad before you showed up. But no, the ending of the Craigslist ad says money talks.
I'm
exactly.
I'm sure Ferrari reproached him with their unit, hang out of their
Yeah,
pants.
they
and
offered
said,
him
hey,
$100 million a year.
$100 million a year?
Plus support for his brand as well.
Yeah, they're going to invest $400 million for building his brand and his diversity projects and stuff in Ferrari.
Kudos to him, man.
Yeah, he is bigger than F1 itself.
Oh, yeah.
So Lewis is bigger than F1 as a figure, and he's going to bring only good things to Ferrari. And if he can bring Ferrari back to winning ways, that's going to be the greatest way to retire for him, because he has won everything there is to win in F1. So yeah, that's his last great crusade.
Yeah, bringing back Ferrari to the
which is hopefully it doesn't become a retirement home for him. So it's just a retirement home for him. So let's see. Yeah, apparently like Mercedes did not want him bad enough. They were like they offered him only an option for a 1 year plus a 1 year extension.
Yeah,
which made him feel less valued at Mercedes after having won so much. Meanwhile, Ferrari is offering the world to him. They're gonna build a whole town for him, just for him to come and stay. And
I think one of the other
they're gonna make vegan gluten-free pizza.
Oh yeah,
So
the first time Italians
the
turned down
chefs are gonna
prosciutto.
shoot themselves.
No, I think it's really wild, right? Is the fact that Mercedes has so many really killer drivers, though, that were sort of champing at the bit to take Lewis down, and now they're going to get the opportunity to, because he's sort of turning coat.
Yeah.
It's going to be wild to see. It's also, it's timely that you said that Netflix, Drive to Survive, seeing as Drive to Survive, I think this is their last season. They're not getting renewed. So it's almost a really odd time for them to not get renewed. Immediately going to the 25 season when all this other nonsense is supposed to kick off.
Yeah.
So is he finishing up this season, or is it going to be?
Yeah, he's going to do one more end of 2024.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to go to Ferrari. Yeah, he gave them he's leaving with good dignity. He's giving them whole season to figure things out.
It's cool. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's the good news. The bad news is Andretti, who've been trying to get into F1 from the US side, they've partnered with Cadillac and found a engine supplier and got the approval from the FIA. But the F1 commercial rights holder has denied entry to them.
Yeah, I loved, did you see Andretti's tweet?
Yeah.
He says,
who the fuck is F1?
Yeah, who are you guys? Like, to tell me that I can't come race.
Yeah.
All power to him. I mean, they told him that, 27 that he can come back and they'll reconsider.
Yeah.
But I think that the fact that, the whole idea is how to get more Americans involved in F1 and get them more interested in F1. And their idea was tearing up the strip and putting in a track there, and then
Bringing in
complaining
Chicago next.
Yeah, exactly. So bringing more tracks to the U.S. That's not how to do it. You bring in an American team that people can get behind. That isn't Haas.
They don't let Andretti, and they have teams named Visa, Cash App.
Yeah, Visa, Cash, or Stake. Isn't it Stake that they just upended themselves?
Yeah, Stake lied to Cyber that they have a gambling license in Switzerland, which they don't. So now they're going to remove the sponsor.
One of my favorite memes that I saw was like Stake. February 24 from February 2024 to February 2024, and people were like, "Man, they were the greatest race team ever."
No, Visa, Cash App, Red Bull.
Oh yeah, dude. So I just
it's
so obnoxious.
Yeah, you know, F1's got to really be feeling themselves when they can deny like the Andretti name in F1.
The reason they stated is F1 will bring more value to Andretti than the other way around. So that's the reason they said.
I don't.
Yeah,
I think Andretti is such a household name here in the United States.
Exactly.
That they're making a truly poor decision.
Yeah.
And all power to Andretti if he managed to beat his way to the grid like that. I think that would be a really true test.
Yeah, they had set up a whole team. They built a wind tunnel and a concept model and everything. So they had a whole team ready. But it was, And the funniest part was F1 sent them an invite to do a in-person meeting in Europe. And that went to the spam folder. And they didn't end up seeing the invite, so they didn't go to chat. That was funny.
Yeah.
Also. Yeah, too many hilarious things happening.
Well, Andretti, if they don't want you there, we'll take you at Valt.
Yeah.
That's my pitch.
Yeah, we just require some of your wine. If you could give us some of your wine, that'd be great. Thanks, Mario. Appreciate you.
There's also like more turmoil happening in Red Bull. So the team principal of Red Bull Racing, not to be joked about, he's been reported by one of their employees for some reason. So he's going to get investigated by an external agency for misconduct this weekend. So that may, it can have the potential to, ask him to resign as well, which is going to be like a huge blow for Red Bull. And presence of Christian Horner is also tied to their star engineer Adrian Newey, who is the chief designer of all their winning cars. So losing Christian Horner may also mean losing Adrian Newey. Which is a huge jeopardy for them. Yeah.
Do we even think, even if I don't doubt that he is a very difficult person to work for, and I don't doubt that some of these allegations are likely founded. You know what I mean? Because you could tell from watching him over the past couple of years, he's a very focused and very driven guy. Not to justify any of the things that he did or may or may not have done.
What was he accused of?
We don't know quite yet.
There's just rumors.
Yeah.
Just misconduct, right?
It just says misconduct. Nobody knows whether it's like harassment or whether it's like harsh management. Nobody knows.
Yeah. The running theory is that it is just really aggressive, over the top management. He's very angry man. But my curiosity is can Red Bull afford to lose Horner? And if dependent on the nature of the allegations against him, is it something that potentially Red Bull can sweep under the rug? And if they do that, then
they're not the cleanest team, I would say, in terms of this sort of thing. So, and people in power generally, of this much power, generally tend to get things to go their way somehow. So I don't know. It's
a wild. It's going to be weird to see how that turns out, especially with it. It's actually very timely with what's happening in the world in general. So
and the consequences. Newey has also said in the past that he has the dream of being able to work with Lewis Hamilton or Ferrari at some point in his career. So I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, it could be another Schumacher era coming up.
I'm sure there's some conspiracy theories happening with maybe the F1 wants some more Netflix time, and they're throwing some shit all over the place in 2025.
What's the over/under on this? That Gunther Steiner
he
goes to Red Bull and runs their team principal.
Yeah. But he used to run the WRC team for Ford, which used to own Red Bull's previous team, and they bought it from Ford Jaguar.
So he's probably still got an employee number.
Yeah,
perfect.
He might have friends still in Red Bull. Yeah.
Bring back Gunther. We're now founding that campaign, right?
Yeah, he's gonna deal with Max the right way. Yeah, so that's too much F1 news. I guess we can move on.
All right. So that was the F1 news for the week. And now we're going into Vault news. Our impromptu drive went really well a couple weeks ago. A lot of people came out. It was fun. Everyone seemed to have a good time. Everyone seemed to be at a good pace. I took the M5. Ian took the Mocha. We'll talk about those later. But
Where'd you guys go?
we went to Napa. You've done the route with us before.
Yeah.
There's a Lake Berryessa loop.
Yeah. How was the route?
Good.
It's fantastic. Roads
Actually,
were
it was completely empty.
dead.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I got to do the uphill section at the very end, all by myself. I was leading, unfortunately, but for me, I took an opportunity to go uphill as fast as I could, and the M5 really shined, and I was like, oh man, this is why I have this car. So,
And then Joe's decided that he is no longer a car guy. He's going to buy himself a RAV4.
oh yeah, that is another thing that we could talk about.
It's definitely Joe.
Matt
He's a
with the
Corolla guy at
ISF.
Lexus. Yeah.
Brought his Lexus ISF brought his RAV4 Prime hybrid, and I let him drive for like a little bit of in the M5 just because I felt bad that he was in a RAV4. But honestly, the RAV4 was pretty
No,
nice.
that guy, he just rips in it.
Yeah, it was really
It was
a nice car.
It's hilarious to think that vehicle, that RAV4, that specific model, was actually the fastest, had the fastest acceleration of any Toyota model outside of the GR86 and the Supra.
They push.
GR86 is probably slower than that.
Oh yeah.
I did it. So someone commented on a Facebook post in the GR group that was, why would I buy this car when it has a slower 0 to 60 than a Honda Odyssey?
The GR Corolla?
Yeah, the
86.
the 86.
Okay.
And then I looked it up, and they aren't like far off. Like the Honda Odyssey with its 10-speed automatic gearbox gets up to 60 miles per hour in 6.5 seconds.
Yeah, it's almost the same for the 86.
It's like, what if you get like, oh no.
Yeah, so it's a good car. Honestly, it was like not like entertaining on the back roads, but it was like it held its own. I mean, obviously it makes sense. Everyone else's was in like
Old cars.
sports cars from the early time, and he was in a modern car that could keep up with all of us. But that was the drive. We're going to do way more of them. I mean, we're doing a lot of Vault drives and public rallies too, but I think we're going to do a lot of the random impromptu drives too, just to get people to do stuff during the weekend when we're not having stuff going on.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't joined our membership, dude, is Joe has put together an incredible calendar for 2024. I mean, when you talk about being like a car enthusiast, I mean, really, like Vault is it. Drives, events, I mean, everything, mixers, the whole work. So I'm super excited for 2024. And man, thank you for all the work.
Yeah, and when I first designed the calendar, we had like maybe 45 events. But since then, I've talked to a couple more people, and we've added like another like 15. So I think there's like over 60 events happening this year. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
60 as in 60,000. I'm pretty sure that's what I looked at.
So yeah, I mean, we're trying to do stuff every weekend basically,
More
starting
than-
in the spring. Like in March and April, things are going to really pick up.
Yeah.
We have stuff going on in February too, but a lot of things are happening, and it's going to be really exciting. And just as a tidbit, I made a little magnet for everybody, all the members. So I'll be mailing that to you guys soon, that you could throw it on your fridge and stay up to date with everything that's going on. And then lastly, for the Vault news, VJ went to the 24 Hours of Daytona.
Yes. Speaking of magnets, I got a magnet of the Daytona racetrack on my fridge. Yeah, so that was like my first 24-hour race. Not that a lot of people do a lot of 24-hour races, but I've been to a couple of IMSA races before, and the best thing I've experienced about IMSA is the total access. You don't even need to be a photographer with the credentials or anything. Before the race, you're free to go roam around the whole paddock. You can go into the garages even, like talk to the mechanics. They'll show you the car, even bump into some of the drivers. And if you actually want to meet some F1 drivers, they're also at IMSA races as well. And you don't need to spend, $20,000 on an F1 Miami ticket to see the paddock. You can just spend $80 and go to an IMSA week. And, there's no fixed seats. You can camp there. You can go to any seat, any vantage point, beautiful photo opportunities, even without photo passes. Yeah, like total access. That's the best thing about IMSA. Like I was at the start finish straight with the cars. when the national anthem started and no one even asked me to leave. I was standing behind the drivers on live TV when the national anthem started. And I'm like, okay, should I be here? And they don't care. Like, they just let all the fans experience whatever they want.
Yeah.
And these are not just old cars. They're like the most advanced hybrid, 4 different classes, road car based classes also, and prototype classes with the most cutting edge hybrids, with extremely different diverse powertrains, all the way from the aluminum V8s of the Cadillac hybrids to the 4-cylinder Porsche, I think, and like even BMW has their own different engine. So it's all these diverse formula cars like racing all together, and in the end the final outright win was fought within 1 second gap in the last final minutes.
Dang, over 24 hours.
That's how amazingly close the race is in all the categories, and that's how good the access is also. So if you're disappointed by how much F1 is like alienating fans by pricing you out, you should just go out to IMSA, all the races, just get like a season pass and just have fun and see all the good racing instead of one guy winning every single race. Yeah,
I did hear that there was a little bit of controversy. At the very, very end, I guess there
was a confusion between broadcast and race organization about the final lap. So they ended the race 1 minute 35 second in advance. They showed the marshal showed the white flag 1 lap in advance.
Oh.
So, and the fight was super close. It was within one or 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And had it gone for another lap, who knows what would have happened. But they ended a 1 lap short of the 24 hours. So it was like the 23 hours, 58 minutes of Daytona. Yeah, in the end. Yeah.
I paid for a full 24 hours. I didn't get it. I demand a refund.
The story I heard was that Porsche is won and was winning, but Cadillac was like shaving tenths of a second off every lap, and it was looking like a couple more laps would have gotten Cadillac like ahead of the Porsche.
Yeah.
And so there's like some conspiracy theories, around.
Yeah, but then like
Andretti
Cadillac. Yeah, that was fun. That was Porsche's first outright win, I think. Their 963, which debuted a couple of years back. This is their first win. So finally they won something with that new car.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yep.
All right, so project updates. This also has to do a little bit with our drive that we did a couple weeks ago. But the M5 did really, really well. I was actually really impressed. It kind of restored my faith in wanting to keep it for a longer period of time. But BMW's brakes aren't really known for being that good. They're kind of squishy. So I kind of want to rebuild them with like stainless lines and different pads and everything, because they're just not entertaining. They're just not good. They just don't feel very confidence inspiring. So there's that. And then the last thing is my seat adjustment mechanisms just don't work that well. Like they're just really loud and kind of bad. So I need to get those rebuilt, and I need to find someone willing to do that because I don't know. I mean, no one's gonna want to do that. So motors and stuff from the 80s just don't really work that well. I'm happy enough that they work, but I like them to work perfectly.
Yeah. Can you swap like seats and?
Yeah, you can. The problem is that my seat was recovered, so it's in really good shape. So what I would have to do is I'd have to it's probably worth it for me to bring it to a specific shop that specializes in like 80s BMWs and just have them replace the motors, because they're the motors. It's the motors inside the seats, and it's most likely no one's gonna want to do it.
Is it M5 specific seat?
No, you can get them in 535 ISs. The only thing that's specific is the M badge plastic thing in the middle, which you can just drill
which is has no value these days.
No value. You just drill it's nothing. But
I said there's no value because BMW puts badges on everything now.
Yeah, that was
you
the
just
first
pay
thing.
to have M badges.
Yeah, I mean back in the E28 days, like the M5 was differentiated by the 535S by those plastic badges and the badge on the
and you couldn't get it in every other car.
Yeah, that was it. Everything else was 535IS. Even the front spoilers, all of it was identical to 535. Besides the motor, the plastic things on the seats. You sometimes would get like a M color stitching on the steering wheel, but not for E28s, and then the badge, and that was it.
Sleeper.
Can you put in like a nice set of manual Recaros in there and still maintain the same spec level? I'm
kind of thinking. I'm pretty sure you can convert seats from electric to manual.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking about just taking them out, and I'm pretty sure my dad has done this before on other cars, not E28s, but on E34s and stuff. So I kind of think I might just do that. The only problem is on E28 M5s. the whole center console is covered in leather, and where you adjust your seats are in the center console, which means I would need to find a specific E28 M5 European spec in beige leather console, which is going to be extremely hard
These
to find.
BMW people.
Just preset your. How much seat adjustment are you doing?
No. Here's the problem.
He uses calipers.
I'm generous. I'm generous. I let anyone who wants to drive any of my cars at any point ever, I say yes, no matter what. And I want them to be able to adjust their seats.
No. knock that off, right? So that's your first mistake. I'm not saying that because I'm mean. If you're borrowing someone's car, don't adjust their seats.
Yeah, but the problem is like the people who I let Matt's shorter than I am, so he moved his seat a little bit.
Just get taller friends.
I let Aljo drive the car for one of his photo shoots for ATBXO. He's a little bit shorter than me, so he had to move it. So I was just like, I had to explain every time to people, and I'm like, I just need to not. I want people to get in the car and everything fucking works. You know.
So when Courtney learned how to drive manual, she learned how to drive manual in a Cobra replica, but she's still too short. Even though it's a small ass car, she's still too short to reach the pedals. So we got her a pillow. So all you need to do is stuff a feather down pillow feather down pillow in the back of your trunk and just have people put that behind there. But just don't move your seats.
Anyway,
Or
well,
you
that's
just need guys with just like girthy builds.
yeah.
Yeah.
So me and Ian,
Yo, perfect.
we're the only people.
We'll be happy to drive your car for you.
Yeah, I mean, that maybe I need to change my ways. But anyway, those are my project updates. They're all about the M5. I just need, I need
That
some
was
TLC.
of no use. Whatever you mentioned.
Yeah, I just.
I need some TLC on it. But other than that, today I walked into the warehouse and I saw that Sean's Z had no engine in it. So we are making progress on that.
Yeah, so finally we had Ivan over at Vintage Spirit Garage actually pulled the motor out today. So he's been working on it all week, got it out today, and is hopeful to have the engine in either later this week or early next week. So everything looks good. We're taking all the AC stuff out. Even though it works, it's just, it works
Race
for the
car.
70s.
Race car.
So it doesn't really work.
It saps power too.
Yeah, exactly. And I never use it. I mean, we're in the Bay Area, so I mean, I never use
roll down
AC.
the windows.
Roll the windows
Yeah,
down.
exactly. I never
Don't drive in
use-
the summer all the
yeah,
time.
Yeah, totally. In a Z, dude, I'm all about have them up, my elbow out of the window. Dude, that's it. So, but yeah, no, I'm excited that that's finally happening.
Good, nice. We'll leave it vague, I think, because Sean doesn't want to talk about it yet. But some unfortunate things have happened to his R107. That's the Mercedes we
my
talk about basically every
God.
single podcast. So
So-
some bad things have happened. I don't know if Sean wants to elaborate, but I'll let him do it.
You're in a
guys,
safe.
so-
You're in a safe space, buddy.
Man, oh man,
It's only
man.
going
This
on YouTube.
hurts, man. This hurts. So on the other side of that, dude, I think Ian, you're bad luck, bro.
No,
Yeah.
I've never talked about your Mercedes in the entire existence.
Well, ever since I've known you,
Oh, your shit just breaks.
well, not only does it break, but it breaks bad. 2 motors have gone because of you.
Because of me.
So the first motor, of course, was the Mini Cooper.
yeah.
And
Which I'm still telling you, if you ever decide you want to get rid of that thing,
man, as soon as I get it back, who knows what's going to happen.
been
So,
almost
but
a year.
anyway, so with the Mercedes, as you guys know, I've been on this venture to do a what is it, LS1 conversion, manual swap on a Mercedes 450 SLC. We finally got everything together. My guy called me yesterday and said, hey, you know what? Everything is idling great. Finally got it started. It was running for about a minute and then poof.
Oh.
And he texted me literally 1 minute after he texted me the video and was like, catastrophic engine failure. So we've got to take the whole motor apart and hope that nothing in the block is broken.
so he sent
just
you
stop running.
He sent you the video.
It stopped running.
of the engine running.
So
Yeah.
it seized, it
And
stopped
it
running.
seized, it
Oh
seized.
well, you just gotta okay.
Yeah,
You probably gotta get a new one.
The wildest thing is though is you went from the highest high
Dude,
to the lowest
freaking
low in a minute.
Literally in a minute.
I'm so sorry.
All thanks
man.
to you, bro.
Yeah, there you're welcome. It's like a bad penny. So it's just what he bottom end is just the bottom end fell out of it, or
He is thinking, yeah, something's going on with the bottom end. We don't know. He has to take it all apart again. And this is probably the 3rd time he's had it apart.
yeah.
So, but I mean, it is what it is. When you're rebuilding, it happens. So,
Was the engine out of
the
car?
engine is out of a 98 Camaro, I want to say, that had an LS swap in it. So, ironically, the parts and everything, the size, everything fits close enough to the Mercedes. There's been a few adjustments we have to make within the transmission, within the drive shaft, which seemingly was okay. But yeah, we bottomed out, pun intended, on the bottom out. So yeah, so we'll see where it goes.
Luckily, LS stuff is relatively inexpensive. So
Yeah. I mean, it is LS. I mean, if it is the block, the blocks aren't that expensive.
No,
And so, and as I said, it's always good for these things to happen while it's, at a mechanic versus while you're driving it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at least it's going to be fixed faster than it would be if you were just stranded on the road or something.
Exactly. So yeah, those are my updates. Freaking sucks.
Yeah,
But,
that's
we'll
too
be
bad.
back.
And rather unfortunate news. Turning it, I guess, to more positive stuff. Ian drove a Moke on our rally.
Yeah, so bought the Moke at the end of last year, did some work to it. Fortunately, it's a brand new odometer. So when I got the car, it had 0,000. And we have successfully put on 200 miles.
Nice.
In January, in a car that has 0 doors, 0 windows, 0 roof, 0 anything on steel seats. I put 200 miles on this car, just driving around Napa and freezing my ass off.
Holy shit.
I was not
even
jealous
went,
of you.
I went last weekend all the way out to Marin County, and to go to a buddy's Cars and Coffee that he was putting on in his shop, and it didn't put a foot wrong. I rode 70 miles per hour the entire way,
Nice.
Wow.
and it's just this thing is so good. So when we were on the drive, everyone's like, "Oh, how's it? How is it? How is it?" I can chuck that car into any corner at any speed, and it will not break.
So for those that don't know, what is a Moke?
Oh yeah, you should probably pull up a photo so you can show people how ugly and
mini
dumb this
military
thing
truck.
is. So, long story short, I have an absolute affinity for
go ahead and bring a
Mokes,
trailer.
or for minis in general. So Mini, of course, being around since '59. It was the brainchild of a gentleman named Alekis Egonis, who decided that because of the Suez oil crisis, the UK needed a fuel economy car that was built to hold a family of 5, but also be as practical on sipping gas. So he created an original Mini. So the Mini is really unique in the fact that it comes with a transverse 4-cylinder. Is one of the first vehicles that came with a transverse 4-cylinder. It also shares the underpinnings. The gearbox and engine share the same oil as one another. So you have to use sort of mineral-esque oil because of that.
So more or less like an old school Mini.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So what the Moke was it's much like the United States got the Willys
Sold
Jeep, right?
for 60,000.
Yeah, I didn't buy mine for 60,000. Don't worry,
This
I'm
is
not.
like the
I'm not
most
made of money.
expensive. Yeah.
You could fabricate this for half
Does
of that.
Courtney allow you to drive this with her? Does she get in there with you?
She. Oh God! So this is the funniest thing, right? Oh, hold on. Let me finish the first story real quick,
Okay.
and then I'll give you a great story. So, long story short, the United States got the Willys Jeep, which was essentially supposed to be a vehicle that could be dropped out of a plane, parachuted to the ground, and built on the land for World War II. The UK was offered this as an option, and the UK military essentially went through trial and testing as a similar style vehicle where they drop these out of planes, you get them on the ground, and you drive them around the battlefield. Well, you can tell from these things that there's 0 ground clearance, 10-inch wheels, and so long story short, what ended up happening was these got sold out to places like the Caribbean and Australia, and they're being used as tourist vehicles instead.
More like a golf cart than
Exactly. And in fact, the brand new Moke USA is an electric iteration of it, and
Yeah,
it is
I've seen
considered a golf cart. There you are. I hope no one from Moke USA is listening, but they are ugly as sin because they're wider to accommodate an American physique. They're wider vehicles, which gives them this
They look weird.
they're oddly
They look
proportioned in the first
Yeah.
place. But when they're wider, they're even worse.
Yeah. And they were asking like an ungodly amount of money for
It's
them
like
too.
$30,000
Yeah,
for
hell
something
no.
that goes the rest of the world, because of the weird way that American laws or vehicles get approved out here.
Yeah, there's one right there.
Yeah, see the weird rules, right?
Jeez.
Is that America only got the electric versions in the rest of the world, Moke makes a single 1 liter gas-powered version, which is closer to the original Moke. But because the original Moke came with an 850 as an option, mine happens to have a 1275 in it.
Nice.
A little more powerful.
Yeah.
But
Same motor as the Mini?
yeah, same exact motor, same exact front and rear subframe. So what I can do is I can take everything off of my original Mini, my Rover, and transplant it onto the Moke.
Yes. Is it the same wheels as well?
Yeah, same exact wheels, 13x6s. I gotta get new tires though. I looked at the date codes; they were dated like 2017. It's like, we'll see what happens.
The older ones are definitely
I'm
better
guessing-
proportion than the.
Oh yeah,
than the-
yeah.
So it has
Yeah.
airbags, ABS,
That's cool,
traction
bro.
control.
Yeah, all the creature comforts. No, it has Zep. I actually managed to put in essentially the stereo out of a UTV. I put it underneath the dashboard, and that's the only creature comfort. And you have to turn the volume all the way up because you can't hear shit otherwise. So speaking of Courtney, I told Courtney I finally put seatbelts in the car. There were no seatbelts in the car previously, so I ended up welding in a plate and putting in some seatbelts so they're nice and safe. And I said, Sunday we're gonna go to Sonoma. We're gonna have a really nice day. We're gonna go get some donuts from the little donut shop that's there. They do little miniature donuts. They're delicious. And then we're gonna have a nice lunch. And Courtney goes, okay, cool, that's fine. I didn't realize, and I probably should have known this from like past ownership experience of like convertibles, that long hair in a convertible does not track well.
Yeah.
So Courtney's got longer hair than I do, and so what ended up happening is we were driving from Napa to Sonoma, hitting about 60 miles per hour. We both got out of the car in Sonoma, and we both looked like members of the Ramones. It was terrible, and so I asked, well, what did you think of the car? And she goes, well, it was great when it was sitting still.
How did you register it?
It's registered on the road as a classic car. I mean, it's titled as an Austin, which is the
Does
manufacturer.
it have
of
a
the vehicle.
US VIN?
Yeah. No. This one doesn't. It's an Australian Moke.
Okay.
I've got an Australian
so
Moke.
it's a 25-year-old rule.
Yep, 25-year-old. So it's a 1967 Austin Mini Moke.
No smog,
25-year-old.
nothing.
No smog. Yeah, for the import laws into the United States. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, 1967 Austin Mini Moke, and
Nice.
doesn't need to have. It's got plates. I ordered some custom plates, so we'll see if those get approved. But yeah.
Cool.
Guys, dude. Congratulations.
Thanks. I'm so excited.
So, speaking of new acquisitions, we'll go into marketplace finds.
Yay.
Today, I picked 2 sketchy cars. One is a McLaren GT from 2020 in Modesto.
Fuck, dude, you know how Robert feels about Modesto.
$125,000. This seems ridiculously
That's
cheap.
why he picked this.
Exactly.
This is not a car you see typically here.
The paint looks not good.
It's wrapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a.
You know the reason why the windows are down is because it doesn't have any. They were busted out.
Oh,
last
okay.
week.
Well, I figured it has a rebuilt salvage title, so
Maybe.
someone
Makes sense.
has put a couple $100,000 of damage on this car.
Yeah.
It has purple explosion plum 3M wrap.
No roof because it's made to park in SF.
Yeah, so I just thought it was funny that it was here, and it's
Bro, these cars get no respect as supercars.
I mean, this is technically their GT
Yeah,
model.
this is like explosively fast.
They have what is it called? There's like a chemical reaction that goes on in these windows that frost them on a
Yeah,
button.
yeah.
That's kind of cool, but you know.
Yeah, in a real world sense, when you see these cars, it's just like, meh.
Yeah, they do fly on the road.
You know what it feels like is whenever I see a McLaren, it feels like whenever I see someone that has the newest iPhone. Just like, oh great, yeah, way to go! You spent some money.
That's fair.
Attaboy. Like, it's like sick.
That's perfect.
That's great. Yeah.
And it's not going to hold up.
And this one you could put a golf bag
You
too.
had money to spend, but you had no idea what you were buying.
Boy howdy, do I wish that I had your finances but better common sense. No, McLarens are amazing. They are incredible to drive,
Yeah.
and every credit to someone who buys a McLaren and actually uses it as a McLaren. But the problem with McLarens is that they are just
Depreciating.
depreciate, but they're tech. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
They're tech,
Yeah.
and that's the disappointing part of it. So yeah.
Yeah, but they still have hydraulic steering though. They're the last supercar to have hydraulic steering.
Yeah.
Nothing's wrong with hydraulics. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like I like all the other cars. The GT, it just doesn't.
Well, it didn't sell well,
do it.
and
Yeah, it didn't sell well,
and I'd imagine they're probably not going to come up with another one for a while.
Yeah.
Because no one bought them. Because you're not buying a McLaren for a GT car.
Thing is, all the cars in their lineup look similar.
Yeah.
And the same engine, the same transmission. It's just slightly different body shapes.
Yeah.
So
the
yeah,
same
because
thing.
you really have to be a nerd to know which one.
Everything
That it's
from
like a
the-
720S or a 5 whatever, and
The 720S.
Yeah.
To the 750,
LT.
whatever the case.
765
the
LT.
long tails.
765,
LT.
and it's all the same freaking car. It looks
Yeah.
exactly the same.
Same carbon
There's-
tub, same engine.
Yeah, there's little tweaks and everything,
Yep.
but for the person looking at it, it's like,
And it's a twin turbo V8, which is not that special
Yeah.
sounding, but it's insanely fast. But yeah.
I'll tell you though. What is the what is it? The long tail that's like the really special fancy
Speed
one.
tail.
Speed
Speed
tail.
tail.
Yeah.
Ugly as sin. I just
I'd fuck with
like,
Speed Tail, though.
if,
Oh, would
if you
you?
see them on the road, I probably wouldn't, like, if I had that much money, I probably wouldn't be choosing that car per se. But it is like something you,
Yeah, it's got huge theater about it. Like,
It does, and
Yeah.
there was Velocity 3 years ago had like a grip of like 5 to 7 of them parked out in the middle
Bruce
of
Skinner,
the show
brown
field.
one,
I don't know. They're weirdly. I have nothing to say because I own
I
weirdly
mean, they're
proportioned
like a
cars.
top
but
speed exercise.
Yeah.
It's like a garage queen thing that you just
yeah,
buy.
see, this is. I don't know if that may be a pre-production or something along those lines rendering, but it's
No,
just,
it is how
that's
it
it,
looks.
yeah.
That's how it looks.
That's just exactly. Well, it's that should give you a credit on how.
Yeah.
It's just it's so oddly proportioned the tail end of it, which I guess
I think
speed
it'll
tail, but
become quite special over time.
Yeah.
Because of how it looks. Yeah. Central driving position. Yeah.
interesting.
like the F1. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I don't know. It's just an oddly proportioned car.
Might be one of those old, like, relic cars where,
It's gonna become
30
like
years
a
down the road, you're
like a-
oh.
It'll be the
Jag.
Maserati MP4, whatever.
MC12 Stradale.
MC12.
I'll
Or
give
like
it
a
credit though.
XJ220.
Have you seen one of these things break?
This,
the
Yeah, one of
carbon
these
wing,
things break
the
the-
carbon bends, right?
The carbon bends.
yeah. Yeah.
It's not like it's not like a wing that comes up and pops like an air brake.
Yeah.
It actually bends, which that once again, it's the technology of McLaren. That's exactly what makes it so special is the
Yeah.
technology, and that's
see if I can find
flexible
an
carbon
image.
fiber.
yeah, right there, the left one, road and track.
This
Yeah,
right
you
here.
see it. That's actually it's bending.
A seamless bend. That's insane.
That's wild.
Going by McLaren build quality, that won't last a lot.
Yeah, it just you're right. Break and then pink.
It's gonna form a crease after
Yeah.
like 5 times.
It's like the Galaxy Fold. It's
Speaking of things that have high technology that will break over time, my next marketplace find is this S600 from Big Lamb Motors.
Big Land.
It's a dealership in Hayward or San Leandro, but it's a really cool spec. I mean, like, this is like a green black with like beautiful interior, in my opinion.
In his opinion,
at
being the
this.
keywords.
Yeah, it's right now. It's
I love
one
this.
against 3.
Absolutely love the spec. But it's one of those cars that,
It is all sunroof. Everything is sunroof.
yeah, that's true.
It's like 10 sunroofs.
Yeah, everything. It's the highest of the high from 2007. It's one of those cars that it's really. This is really broken. For
Yeah,
sure.
there's
Like,
no
like
every.
there's so many things that are wrong. I mean, like, isn't? I mean,
If it loses a dust cap, it'll toll the car.
okay. So we see if there's one bit of honesty, there's a lot more going on.
Yeah.
Sunroof doesn't work. A lot more things are happening. But it has the designer package, which is why that color is so special and why the interior is so like crazy. But it's still a good car. I've been kind of tempted to go and look at it, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna do
You know what this feels like? Is this feels like you're going in there and saying, "I can fix him."
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is exactly like one of my friends bought a 2004 Maybach, which was very similar to this car, and he's had the same thing. Oh, it's a misfire, and ended up being a catastrophic, really crazy misfire. And the entire infotainment system on these cars are powered by fiber optic cables.
Oh, good.
Oh my God.
And it didn't work, which means all that it had to be completely rewired.
You
with
have to
fiber
call
optics.
AT&T.
Yeah, so it's
I'm afraid we'll be there
This is one of
between
these cars.
8 a.m. and 6 p.m.
it's a really unfortunate thing because it's one of these cars that when they work, they are so good. But most of the time they're not working.
What's the engine in this?
It's a V12. It's a big V12.
Oh my god!
It has a tire shine all over it though, which
Is
is
it
not.
still based on the old S600, the Pagani engine?
It's a good question. I don't know.
Twin turbo Pagani.
I have a feeling this is more similar to the Maybach from 2004 than it is to the McLaren engine.
You're right. That is
Pagani
a really shiny plastic.
Yeah,
cover.
they did a lot. I mean, that's just also is kind of telling that this car is probably not
That's
great.
old school armor all.
Yeah, this is like old
Some
school
dude
dealer
went in there
stuff.
with that red rag and
which is exactly what you don't want to see in a car like this. I mean, like that means they're
cleaning the oil.
There's an oil
It
leak
was
there.
all
There's an
the
oil
oil
leak there.
that they had to clean off
There's an oil leak there. There's an
top
oil
of
leak
the
there
motor.
probably.
Everything
There's an
is
oil leak
double
there.
trouble, right? Like
Yeah.
V12, everything is
Yeah,
all
it's-
things are coming from
Like
both
I was
sides.
saying, like it's had probably a really hard 96,000 miles, but it'd still be cool if this was. I mean, this was listed 23 weeks ago. If this is now like $10,000, I'd kind of be into it for the meme.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna avoid saying Leandro for a little bit.
Yeah, so that if he ends up buying this car, then you won't have the most broken Mercedes.
That's very true.
That's true. That would be. Yeah. I mean, this is all hearsay. I haven't seen the car, but I mean, most of the time S600s are broken.
Yeah.
But Ian found something that is completely not luxurious, like the
It's like
S600,
the opposite.
which is actually right here.
Oh, that's dope.
Right?
So what is that?
That is
The
a Volvo.
Volvo.
That's awesome.
So, I claim to be, there's multiple facets of this vehicle that I absolutely love. So,
Where is that and how much is it?
Oakley. It's just down the street from
it's
here.
just down the street. And the funny thing I'm a huge fan of like obscure and weird cars, right? I love the Pinzgauer. Pinzgauer is the Swedish
A video of
or
a photo.
Swiss military vehicle. I think a lot of folks don't realize just how wild Volvo is. Like Volvo always seems like a really safe car company because, of course, they sort of created or
Pioneered
revolutionized safety
Yeah.
about vehicles, seat belts, things along those lines. Everyone just thinks of like the 240 wagon and like mom driving around to soccer practice. People don't realize is that Volvo's unhinged.
Like Subaru.
You gotta wonder why that shows this angle to like we're gonna park it with two wheels off and that's it. We're not doing anything else. We're gonna leave all this shit all over the place right here.
This one has clearly been repainted because I can't. This is so Volvo created military vehicles
This is
for the
not-
Swedish
I mean, look at
for the
this,
Swedish
there's
military.
No way, this is factory.
Yeah, there's no way that color's factory. No, it came factory with zebra stripe seats. Actually, that's part of the biggest selling feature for me. Is I
kidding me?
desperately want something with No, I'm not. How are you kidding you?
That's crazy.
That's not a factory option.
It has a light bar.
But yeah,
it could
it's
be like a cool-
this is
cool
from
guy.
when Volvo created military vehicles for the Swedish military, and it is. You could probably run that thing to
I
the
didn't
end
know
of
the
Earth.
Swedish had military. They seem so peaceful.
They do. That's
so
because no
peaceful.
one wants to tackle
How much
Volvos.
is that going for?
Was it 20? How much was it? 25?
27,
27.
God.
14 weeks ago. If it's still available, you can offer
We could
22.
easily knock them down.
At least to 20.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
if you want
at
to make
least
you
to
want
20.
you want me to drive you to Oakley, I could drive you to Oakley.
I'm just saying, you get one of
Oakley?
these.
It's an Oakley.
You get one of these.
not
You
far
just
away.
go up. You go up north. You
drive down
go
Fort.
just run some of the off-road trails near Tamales and things like that. You go into town, get yourself a loaf of bread, go home. You can have a great day.
Get the whole family in.
In the
exempt,
Volvo.
Smog exempt. You're in,
Yeah.
No issues.
That's awesome.
It won't fit here though. You have to figure someone else out.
What,
No,
How
that'll
many
fit.
seats is that?
what engine?
So I think
no
I
interior
think that
photos.
these would have 3 rows, or they would usually have either bench seats down the side, like an old Defender.
Yeah,
But this one seems to be optioned out with just 2 rows.
Yeah, I mean this has been like modified. It has heated seats and stuff.
What engine is it?
It's the original 4-cylinder, right?
It's a Polestar.
Let's find out.
Is it a diesel?
It's an original inline 6 motor with 13,000 kilometers, which is completely wrong.
Diesel, right? Diesel.
Yeah. No, it would be a gas. I
That'd be
believe.
crazy if it wasn't a diesel. Is it a diesel? Not a diesel?
No, I think it's gas.
Wow.
Long story short, I like
Crazy.
this because I love the idea of walking up to someone and saying, or someone asking you, "Oh, what do you drive?" "I got a Volvo." And everyone's thinking like S60, like a sedan or something. And you just roll up in that. I was like, "What the hell is that?" It's Volvo when they were unhinged and
Yeah, right.
making things like the P1800.
Like Subaru used to be kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
Like in the 70s, 80s, they
Yeah.
made XD and all that stuff.
Joe, I love it. You can take on the entire planet in that thing.
That's good fine, bro.
All right, so we're going into VJ's finds. Today
Yeah.
he found a S600.
Yeah, I mean this car is like super special, doubly special for me because I own the, spiritual successor of this car, the Honda Beat. This is the grandfather of the Honda Beat, which is the first car or sports car that Honda made. They were primarily a motorcycle company until they made this, which is a 9,500 RPM redline engine with no oil pressure. It's like the most Honda thing to do, like to rev to the moon and then make a engine that doesn't need oil pressure. So it works apparently on a roller mechanism, so it doesn't need oil pressure to move the valves and the whole valve train mechanism.
Nice.
And these things are like still attainable range, I think, in the 20s maybe, or this one's getting expensive. But yeah, this is a super special thing. It's the insides of Honda's brain from the 50s.
It's kind of crazy, like these S600 and what's the Datsun?
The Roadster.
The Roadster,
Yeah.
like I'm surprised. Like they're
Extremely
great looking cars.
Yeah.
Like
It should be
even
worth
today's
more.
standards, they should be worth more.
It's a Japanese thing.
It depends though on what you're looking for, right? So when you're talking about the Roadster, the 2000s are starting to get unobtainable. They're starting to get really up there. But if you're happy with the 1600 and the 4-speed, you're A-okay.
Yeah.
I think these just have a cult following because people see the 600 and they're like, maybe I want something a little more.
It's the first Honda
Peppy.
car.
Yeah.
So
You really have to be, not to say that I'd love one of these. These are amazing.
Yep.
You have to kind of be a nerd to.
Yeah.
VJ, we're nerds.
You know the best part about this car is Honda badging back in the day.
yeah,
That's
so
what it was.
good.
Oh yeah.
And the shifter
That's
in
so
this,
sick.
I bet the shifter in this is the best feeling shifter
Oh,
ever.
yeah.
Clicky.
It's gonna feel like cracking knuckles.
Oh yeah. I just
Oh, it looks like it too. Look at how small it is.
Short,
this
short,
is like a call out. I think so. If you look at the interior shots, because that's I
one
dislike.
finger shifter.
Yeah, you're just like clicking that around.
Dude, he needs a side note. Vacuum your carpets before taking photos on Bring a Trailer. Look what the heck's going on here. That's horrible. I mean, this is you've lost like at least $4,000 to $5,000.
Okay,
value
detailer
right
Joe.
I don't know. Anyway, go on.
Well, I'm just saying. So, like, I don't know if you guys are the same when you're on Facebook Marketplace, but I don't look at exterior photos of cars anymore. My focus is on the interior of cars because I truly enjoy looking at like really nice interiors. One of the biggest issues that I have with cars nowadays is that they are not particularly nice places to be.
You mean new
It's not
cars?
a safety feature. You could easily have a gorgeous dash like this, Honda, and still be safe.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's so pretty.
Yeah, but it's very basic though. There's like not really any style to it.
Yeah, it looks more functional than.
But there's some beauty
But the
and
steering looks
functionality.
amazing.
Look at that.
Yeah, steering looks amazing.
That steering wheel.
It's sat
wood
for a
grain.
while.
It's
This
wood.
looks like it's sat for a while, like the grime and
It
everything.
does.
But it's
so
so
sick.
that I love the sort of steel and the wrapped leather or
Oh,
pleather.
it's got toggle switches. Come on.
Oh,
Yeah.
toggle switches.
Yes. You can launch.
All I would do all day is
Until it falls off.
Daniel Wu has built this out. Have you seen Daniel Wu's
Yeah.
black
He
car?
brought it to a show one time.
Yeah, Larry Chen took a good photo. Set
Oh,
of
yeah.
his car. Yeah.
Yeah,
He built this into a hardtop.
it's so sick.
Yep.
Have you seen it?
no.
Dude, it's
gorgeous.
freaking phenomenal.
Yeah.
man. I saw it at the San
I think his-
Francisco
yeah.
Auto Show.
Oh my God.
San Francisco Auto Show. It was literally the
It's
best car
gorgeous.
there.
It's gorgeous.
That is so.
I went to his garage
Cool.
and got to sit inside this.
It looks so much better in person.
It's
an
like
S-
a
an
mini.
essay
Don't
for
even
it.
do it justice.
It's a mini. It's a mini Z car. That's what it looks like.
Look at its stance in the back.
Oh, look at that.
It's gorgeous inside. It's hard to fit inside. It's like
Well,
you drive it like
look
this
at-
almost. Like
That's perfect. That's awesome. Who cares what
Yellow
you?
lights.
Who cares? You just that. Yeah. Oh my God, that is so cool.
He did like all the upgrades he did down there. It's like perfect. Like perfect.
Sorry about this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Red interiors, everything. It's
Yeah.
cool. These are Larry Chen's photos.
Oh my God.
Shouts out to Daniel Wu.
Yeah. No joke.
It's a
So they
good car.
just won what they do they did a 24-hour race.
What wheels
Yeah,
were
with
those?
Tots.
Yeah, they were racing at Daytona.
Yeah, it just, yeah.
It's a good question. They look like they're custom though. Like look
They
they're
finished
fully.
fifth in class in Daytona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fully custom wheels.
Yeah.
Man,
Big congrats.
This guy,
Daniel and
this
Tazio.
guy always wears the best drip.
He has to, man. He's an actor.
he wears the best drip.
BJ.
Oh, man.
Speaking of tiny convertibles that no one knows about and are underappreciated, this one might be too appreciated, but this is a BMW Z1 that VJ found.
Yeah, the only thing I know about this car is the doors.
The doors, that's all you need to know, bud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see if I can find a good photo of him.
Dude, I saw this car in like a Jackie Chan movie. I forget which one it was in, but I was like, oh my God, that is so fucking cool.
It's the most sci-fi-esque door I've seen, like
Yeah.
disappearing doors.
Totally.
Yeah, so
Well, is
if I
it
can get a
Not-
good photo.
Doesn't
of
make
it.
any sense.
Is it a Faisal Vega that has the doors that go into the back of that
Oh,
slide backwards?
Yeah, might be there. Yeah.
Dude, that
Yeah,
is
so the door itself goes into the body.
Disappearing door.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they produced this as series production, but they did make like 800 or something.
Yeah, this is a very rare car.
They
I
weren't
mean,
they weren't available out here.
no,
Yeah.
no, this is a Euro.
What were they powered out of? What
They're
was-
E30s.
Oh, really?
M20. I'm pretty sure it's an M20 in there. Let me
That's
see.
not bad.
Yeah, 160 horsepower. It's honestly not bad for this kind of car. Yeah,
It's
it's an M20.
lightweight with the
So
exception
this
of
is,
whatever
this is
that
the
door
this is the good
mechanism is.
M22. This is the one in the modern E30s. So this is a 2.5 instead of a 2.7, like what Robert has. This is the better version of Robert's car, Robert's motor. But yeah, I mean this thing is really cool. It has 165 horsepower. I mean probably scoots. It's basically an E30 with a different body. It might be heavier though. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But too many.
Even
detail
if the
photos.
doors break, you can just jump over it.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
perpetually keep them closed or open.
Yeah.
You know, one of the two.
Yeah.
The back doesn't look great, but
This
You're
is-
not you're not buying this as a GT car though.
no,
You're
you,
just
you take it into Cars and Coffee. That's it.
yeah. This is for you to just go out to lunch, have a good meal, come home.
Yeah.
nice
profit.
color, different color.
Gorgeous
Yeah.
color.
Some of them had zebra interior, I think, too. You could order. The
Everyone's
seats are kind of wild, though. I mean, like
make
they're
sure
not like
you're,
normal BMW seats. Camo in the middle.
Your
Look at the mirror-
partner that you're
mirror-
going out with is under 5 feet.
The mirror attachment
Yeah.
is also weird because the door's not there.
Yeah.
They had to attach the mirror to the A pillar because there's no door, like permanent door handle area. So
Remind me, are those doors? Do you know are those doors actually electronically actuated or are they physically?
I think it's electronic.
I think it's electronic.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is what makes it worse because when
That
the
steering
electronics
wheel-
break,
look at
that's
that
it.
steering wheel is atrocious.
Thank you.
Interestingly enough, the steering
think
wheel
so.
is actually really like desirable for BMW people.
No.
This one is like people would like
It looks like a 3-year-old.
attack each other for this car,
mean,
thing in their E30.
I can see because it would be rare because it's so fucking ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, right. It reminds me of
These are hard to find though.
was it a C4 Corvette wheel almost kind of from the same generation?
E30 guys put those, or even a Chevy Sprint Turbo has similar looking wheels.
Yeah, like that. Look at that. Oh,
yeah.
two spokes.
You can get them brand new from Summit. That's hilarious.
Look at the shape.
That's because
So
yeah.
bad.
Oh God.
Yeah, not
So bad.
not ideal. Anyway, that's still a good find. I would love to drive in.
BMW used to
Z1?
be interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love to drive one of these at some point to see if they're like kind of like E30s or if they're totally different. I don't know what. Yeah, I mean they're
Wow,
basically
it's
E30s.
weird. It
Yeah.
looks like a 550 Maranello.
Yeah, it's definitely like a design thing. That,
I
like,
think
you know,
one of the benefits of having that car is if you own it, you don't have to look at the outside if you're sat inside of it, unless you catch your reflection in a glass fronted window.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Interesting.
Remember when like BMWs from series to series, you would appreciate the design. Nowadays, from series to series, it's just like a bigger version of the other one.
well, yeah. I mean, if you really think about it, though, like that started with the E34s. Like E34s and E32 7 Series look identical.
Yeah.
E39s and E38s are pretty similar. They started to get worse, though. I mean, now all the cars look the same.
Yeah.
But I mean, to each their own. If you have a modern BMW, I'm sorry, but okay. So we'll go into our next topic, which is a market analysis. Recently, I've been perusing Bring a Trailer and noticing that a lot of cars are not meeting their reserves.
Yeah.
And a lot of cars are going for under market. And so I decided I just wanted to do a little bit of like regression stuff and like Excel things, and was just curious to see like if like basic cars that always seem to do well are going up in value at all, or if it really is like a market downturn for cars. And without jumbling up like too many numbers, the E30 M3 price from like 2022 to 2023 has risen, but inflation was also really high that year. So really, it's only gone up like 1 or 2%. And so I'm kind of curious what you guys think and what you guys have experienced in the market recently on cars and sales. I know, Haggerty is really involved with this, so I'm sure Ian knows a lot.
Ian, can you spontaneously produce a Haggerty book, the marketplace?
I've got
book?
one in my back pocket. Now I've got it tattooed on me somewhere. No. Your read on this is correct. I mean, at the end of the day, I think values are going up. But the biggest crux on this is it's now more about condition than it ever has been. So what we've kind of seen is that vehicles that are in tippity top condition, things that are sort of, if you were looking at a scale of 1 to 5, like the best of the best and maybe number 2 condition, those are the ones that are really going up. And the ones that might not necessarily be as in great a condition or not even running, those are staying stagnant now. Those have petered out and kind of stayed steady, where prior in 2020 and between 2020 and 23, we really see the entire fleet like go up. It didn't matter what condition it was, people just wanted it. Yeah. So now people are now that folks have filled the garages, kind of bought what they need to buy. If they're going to make a purchase, they want to make sure that it's something that can be considered best, like really good. And so we've really seen over the past couple of years, the best of the best start increasing in value, and those that are more mediocre in condition sort of peter off and stagnate and kind of level out a little bit, which is good. That's a really, really good sign for those of us who are A-okay on taking on a project. We are willing to put in a little bit of work because that means that we can actually get a better deal on these vehicles and then potentially be able to make money in the future if we do put work into them, paint, interior, things along those lines. I have no idea if the swing will ever go down. We've kind of set this expectation that vehicle values are what they are now, and that's kind of been the way it's been for the last 4 years. We do hope that vehicle values will go down, especially on maybe vehicles in the past that were considered the lowest common denominator. I think you chose the E30 here, right? Mm-hmm. I think don't look at the E30. Look at things like the Beetle, like what is considered an everyman car.
Hippie bus.
Yeah, air-cooled VWs. For the longest time, these vehicles would be considered inexpensive. You could purchase a really ratty one for less than $1,500 and be have a good project. Nowadays, you can't buy them for less than $5,000, and it's just even the ropey ones are too expensive now. So I see those vehicles start maybe depreciating in value here over the next couple of years, but maybe the blue chip cars are going to continue rising in price for the time being.
Yeah, what I've noticed from at least the cars that I pay attention to, like vintage BMW, Mercedes, stuff like that. Is the highs, the blue chips are higher, like insanity higher, but the lows are like super low. So like it's like almost like the wealth gap in America. It's like really weird. Like the one like we were talking about a couple weeks ago, this Mercedes wagon that went for $100,000.
Yeah.
I would have never imagined. I mean, like there are a few Mercedes wagons that I've seen before that have been sold for over $100,000, but they go to like people like Jerry Seinfeld and people like this, just kind of throw money away.
Ralph Lauren.
Yeah. So in E28 M5s even, like there are some that go for hundreds of thousands, like $150,000, and then there are some that go for 18.
Yeah.
And so that there's such a weird gap. And this year specifically in 2024, so far the past 2 months that I've been noticing is that cars are either hitting huge numbers or completely falling flat on their face.
I think you're going to see a widespread. It's going to be a really widespread over the next couple of years on values of the really top tier condition vehicles versus the sort of lower echelon condition vehicles. There's going to be a wider spread, the widest we've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm thinking that private owners are a little bit more myopic when it comes to their own individual cars, that they're still living in 2021, 2022.
Yeah.
When that's simply just not the reality. So what they've been asking for, I think, as you said, there's a lot of stuff that's just sitting out there. Unless your car is really, really special, or, it's just an individual, like, hey, I want to have this car, whether it be, for whatever reasons of the case. I see, car prices continuing to kind of dip.
Do you?
And there's no credit out there anymore.
No,
No.
the right now the interest rates are at all time high for used vehicles, especially new vehicles too. I remember back in 2020, I was able to buy a 2020 Golf GTI 0%
Yeah.
APR straight from the dealership financing, and it was awesome. And
Oh,
then what? 2 years later,
8%?
absolute nightmare of a pandemic later, you can't get, there's 0% APR.
You can't get desirable cars.
No, you
can
can't
get
get
shit
anything.
cars
Yeah.
for 0% APR.
I mean, even then. So, like, to your point, though, people have started to come to the expectation that their vehicle is worth a bloody fortune, right? Yeah. And a lot of this can be proved in the public forum. Are you guys familiar with John Clay Wolf? Okay.
Right.
John Clay Wolf is a broadcaster. He's been doing this for quite some time. I couldn't tell you his history. I only got turned on to him maybe last year, at the end of last year, when finally the Instagram algorithm had my number.
Pause. Go ahead.
And that was odd. What ended up happening was I guess the Instagram algorithm had my number, and they started recommending John Clay Wolf videos to me. And what he does is he has the public call him with their year, make, model of vehicle and what they're hoping to get out of this car. And after listening to him pretty much every single day for like the last 3 months, 4 months, the number of times that he's had to tell someone on air and say, no, your car's not worth that much.
Yeah, totally.
It's insane to me on what the expectation. People will show up with like the ratty. It's another case. Oh, I know what I got.
95% of the cars that were going on during the pandemic, they were not worth that much.
Oh, no. Wait,
Come
yeah.
on.
I mean,
Yeah.
I sold cars during the pandemic for prices. All of them were no reserve, and I didn't want this much money, but all of them went for like 20 to 30% more than what they were worth. And that probably created such a big bubble that now people are trying to get rid of those.
They're trying to get rid of them. Exactly.
And they just can't.
Exactly.
The wildest
Look
thing.
at the Porsche market.
Yeah. Well, the really, so you talk about the Porsche market. The real litmus test for all of this is just if you can take a cookie cutter car, and I use the Kia Soul as an example because it's a great example of a cookie cutter car. It does what it does. It does what it needs to do. It doesn't. People have Kias. They like them because they are okay.
Yeah.
Courtney and I bought her Kia Soul in 20 from Avis for like
Rental car company?
or ex-rental car. It was an ex-rental car. We bought one for like $9,000 cash. 23 or 22, I had to get an SUV, so I couldn't take my Mini out anymore because I had to start schlepping things around in the back of my car for work. We went to CarMax and sold her car for $18,000
Yeah.
cash
Yeah.
for a Kia
Yep.
Soul. And so you're like that, for you to say that such a just a dumb, like, little no nonsense vehicle with zero added benefits, ex rental car, which means it's like one of the lowest trim levels, is now suddenly worth $10,000, $10,000 more than you originally paid for. What does that mean for the rest of the market?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
bad news.
It's bad news bears, right? So I'm glad that things are kind of like returning back to the norm, somewhat. But as I said earlier, the spread is really going to start getting wider. So those really high end cars are only going to get more and more expensive.
Yeah.
The rest of it.
All right. So quick fire consumer advice time. Each person will give me an answer. Sean, is it time to buy, sell, or hold your cars?
Dude, if you're looking at selling a car right now, you've missed the boat. If you're looking at buying a car right now, I'm sorry, but I don't want to say you're stupid, but it's a dumb decision to buy a car right now. So whatever you have, you might as well just hold on to it.
VJ.
Yeah, same. Hold on, keep them well maintained, just drive them into the ground.
Yeah, hold the line. Like, as Sean said, man, you've missed the boat on getting the primo price for your car, and you've also missed the line if you're buying on getting primo interest rates on
just
that.
diamond hands and like make the dealerships die. I hope all dealerships die a quick and painful death.
So you've heard it here. This is consumer advice. Everyone, just don't buy or sell anything right now.
Just be happy.
This is real talk, bro.
If you can afford it.
Don't set foot inside a dealership.
I'm driving with my son in my 2018 Dodge Caravan, and he's like, "What the hell happened to us? Just 2 years ago, we had a Lamborghini and an Audi RS6." And I'm like, I sold my RS6 for this, or excuse me, I sold my Lamborghini for the same price that I bought it for with a wreck on it.
Yeah.
And enjoyed it for 3 years or 2.5 years. I sold the RS6 for like MSRP of what I paid, and I paid like $7,000 of MSRP.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, I saw this shit coming. Like, I mean, you could, if you were paying attention, you saw
The bubble was going to burst.
the bubble was going to
Yeah.
burst. So get rid of all that shit. And I got rid of everything. I got rid of all that shit. All my new cars I got rid of.
I think just telling you right now, you got to hold. I mean, you just
If you can afford it, if you can't, if you really have to sell a car, whatever, you got to sell a car. But like, if you can afford to just hold on to your stuff right now,
I'll tell you, if you're going to sell a car, avoid right now any of the car buying services because they've all gone
Oh, they're going down.
sideways.
Yeah. And they're screwing people all the way out.
Vroom doesn't exist anymore because
Wow.
they went under. CarMax is offering dollars under the pennies on the dollar. So if you are desperate to sell a car, either do peer-to-peer, Facebook Marketplace if you can stand it. Just avoid scammers and such like that. If it's a special car, bring a trailer may still be the right place to go, but realistically, make deals with friends. So you put it out in your own network.
Yep. Seems private sale is the
like,
best thing to go do
it's
right
got to
now.
be your that. But if that's only if you really desperately need to sell something, just hold on to what you got. Be happy with what you got. I mean, that's a good life lesson for us all. We just be
Seriously.
happy with what we got.
And don't bail out these manufacturers. For the shit that they've been pulling for the past couple of years when it comes to their buying decisions and their selling decisions. Don't bail them out. You let them sit on that stuff.
No, let them die.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, some choice words on dealerships.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna be if there's if someone does like a firebomb attack on the nearest Ford
know who did
dealership,
it.
we'll know who did it. Something like that.
Arson.
Anyway, let's go into Copper Drop. This is a quicker Copper Drop. Usually we have 3 or 4 different groupings, but today I chose a couple of unloved convertibles
Oh, I love
to
this.
choose from, and not your first choice in vintage. So first, we'll go into the unloved convertibles. Don't really consider the value too much into them because I don't really know what the value on either of these really are. But first, we have a Cadillac Alante.
Cop. I want that so badly.
I've been, every time you guys are in this group chat, every time I see one of these on Facebook Marketplace, I send it to you guys, right?
Yeah.
I think these are really cool. Like, I know these are
How
probably
dare
horrible.
you name this unloved?
God, look at that steering wheel. Jesus. Go back up to that steering wheel,
It looks
bro.
like
gotta
a
find
meat
a-
shop.
Hell yeah.
Look at this
Hell
little
yeah. It's
number here.
peeling. No, those are the thumb grips. I thought that was peeling. That is so clean.
I mean, I bet they drive horrible, but like, they're like,
No, the thing is you're never going fast enough to give a shit, right?
yeah, you're just cruising, This is a good cruising car. But anyway, this is up against SC430 Lexus.
Oh, man.
These are really nice inside. I've detailed a few of them, and they're very nice inside. But
They're nice, but they're bro.
look
the
at
convertibles.
Go back to the interior shot.
so
This is
ugly,
from the
though.
generation of
Convertibles. So
this is the generation of more buttons equals better, right?
look at all these different like levels of buttons.
Yeah.
Like you get like 1 stack, you get 2 stacks, you get this, you
Yeah.
get all these buttons here for some reason.
Yeah, it's like
More buttons equals
steering
more
wheel
better.
Isn't any better. I don't dig the multicolor.
it's very ugly. It's
Yeah.
aged very badly.
Yeah, totally.
I think the gauge cluster is the same cluster as they used in the Tacoma for a number of
Oh,
years.
it's the same gauge cluster that they use in everything. I mean, like look at this. This
Yeah,
is so
holy
such a
smokes.
It's
basic.
like a Mazda steering.
Man,
There it is.
People bought these new.
Oh yeah, these were like expensive.
Can you just like put yourself in their feet?
I actually think they're
They're a Pebble Beach
they're a
edition.
good looking car to me. The convertibles, no. But I've seen some nice.
Have you
like-
looked at the back end of that?
Yeah, I don't
you
mind
are
them.
aware that the rear end of that car exists. Yes.
I don't mind them. I think they look okay. This thing is atrocious, though.
What is that?
Hello. Anyway, I think we've reached a consensus. But what are you doing? What are you picking? You copying the Cadillac?
Cadillac.
You're copying the Cadillac. What about you, Sean?
Cadillac.
Man, you
I'm
know
copying
what?
the Cadillac. I guess I've always wanted to experience one of these.
You know,
So
I thought
that's-
my pimping days were all over, but I guess I'd have to revert to some bad habits.
Wow,
Cadillac.
everyone's choosing
That
the Cadillac.
car- that
And guess
car right
what?
there?
Sold for $11,000 and it has 34,000 miles on it. This thing is like cherry for 10 grand.
Wait, is that was that Lexus? Was that a hardtop drop top?
Yeah, it's a hardtop drop top. I think no SC430s or coupes. I think they're all because in JDM, I think those are the Supras.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, YouTube people, but I'm pretty sure that was a Supra.
Man, that
but
thing's-
yeah, I might
that
be
thing's
completely
ugly,
off on
bro.
that, but-
leave the top on.
I think it was in a
Don't
restore
ever drop
or
it
something
down.
like that.
That car, the Cadillac, you can easily roll up to both Concord of Lemons.
Designed by Maserati, mind you. It's been
You roll up to
designed by
both
Maserati.
Concord of Lemons and Radwood, and you will be a hero at
See if I can
both.
find something that says it.
I'm rolling up with somebody's grandma in there.
I'll tell you the one that I want is the Cadillac Elante that was made for the Mary Kay reps. I
Pink?
want the
All
pink
pink?
Cadillac Elante.
Ooh, that'd be kind of dope.
Right?
What color interior?
I think, wasn't it rose on the interior? It was like a rose red interior, lipstick red.
Alante.
I'm pretty sure these were designed by Maserati. I think, they
There's,
have a
I think you're
badge.
talking about the Maserati. You're talking about the TC.
I think these are both. These are both.
Are they?
Those are both. They had like a design thing where both of these cars.
Cadillac Elante, Maserati.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
so
it's
both of them.
Chrysler TC
yeah,
by
they're the same.
Maserati.
The TC is not as nice as the Elante.
There used to be a store. Yeah, so the TC by Maserati versus
like this
the
is just
Elante.
this looks way worse than the Elante.
They're not. Yeah, they're not the same car, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
because
like-
if my memory is correct,
What was
the
the
story of the
fuck is this
TC by Maserati was like a really weird eclectic mix of, like, the car got shipped to Italy,
Yeah, and I
then
think they both
shipped
did.
back
I think
to
they-
the
I think
U.S.
They both had the same program where the car was shipped to Italy to be designed and then went back for the drivetrain and all that stuff.
Right.
So this is an Italian body,
Awesome.
which is ridiculous. I mean, these cars were probably so expensive back in the day. But anyway, everyone chose the Cadillac, which just makes me feel happy because I kind of like them. I mean, I don't think I'd ever own one, but anyway, we're gonna go into not your first choice in vintage. So these are the eclectic, seasoned vintage car collectors. So today I have not this.
This
Not the
Cadillac's
Cadillac.
an easy choice.
Cadillac Elante redo.
So this is a Alfa Romeo Giulia 1600 Super. This is being sold, or this was sold by our friend Ingo. I detailed this car for him. It's a very, very pretty blue. And the interior is perfect.
Is that the oil pan? What is that? In the
I think it's like a...
That's a sump guard.
Yeah, it's a guard.
Yeah.
And then we have it up against a 1800S Volvo, which is another car. See, very similar prices. The Alfa one for a little bit more, but both of these cars are not your first choice in vintage. This is something you get for your third or fourth vintage car. So what do you guys got?
Potentially, the Volvo could have been one of the top 10 beautifulest cars ever made.
Yeah.
It's so
It
pretty.
looks 60s
It's-
Ferrari.
yeah,
60s
it's-
Ferrari. Yeah.
Look at the
It looks so good.
interior.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
It's
see if
got
I
the
can
most
find-
beautiful dials. When I first saw these cars, I took like 100 pictures of the dials.
Oh,
It's like so
If,
perfect.
Yeah, if I had an infinite amount of money, I would get one of these and do a resto mod on
You should
it.
get the Cyan Racing
so
P80,
nice.
P1800. Have you seen those?
Yeah, yeah.
The Cyan Racing.
It's so
They
nice.
slam it. And
Yep.
they make it amazing. Yeah.
I am desperately in love with the 1800.
Yeah. It's a perfect looking car.
It is. My
It has a
parents,
station wagon as well.
The ES, yeah.
Yeah.
My parents are big old school TV fans, so we watched The Saint with Sir Roger Moore, and The Saint drove a white 1800. And this car, it's on the list, by the way. I have to own one of these.
Yeah. Look at the
But I would,
proportions on the thing.
I would get
They
the
do look
ES
pretty good.
because I do
So
want the
nice.
station wagon. I want the shooting brake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those
The
are cool.
ES is, in my opinion, I don't care. By the way, whatever I buy is going to be a Volvo 1800. It doesn't matter if it's an ES or a
These are
coupe.
dirt cheap
Yeah.
for what they are.
They're like 40,000, right? Oh, okay.
30,000.
cheaper.
No, they're cheaper. So this is a really nice one. If you just want a driver, you could easily
15,
get
right?
one for like $12,000-$15,000.
And these things are running all over the Bay Area.
The beauty part of this is it has the bloody red block
I
in
did
it,
not
which
need
means
to
you can
know
run
that.
it on like
Yeah,
sticks,
I did not
Need
twigs,
to
and
know that.
Thing just runs.
Yeah.
yeah, you could run it. Like, are you regretting your Peugeot now? You need yourself a Volvo?
Yeah.
Well, this is unfortunate, but I think we've really.
Oh,
we-
sorry, I forgot there was a second car.
No, we love Ingo, and this is a really good car, and I've detailed it, and it's very, very pretty. But I think everybody is choosing the P1800.
It's gorgeous, but everyone's walking past the Alpha to see the Volvo.
The Volvo, yeah,
we
totally.
did too. We forgot. completely
Volvo's
about
giving
the
Ferrari.
It's the B18. It's got the red block in it. It'll run forever.
Yeah.
And look at it.
I'm gonna buy this at some point.
Yeah. You can, if you pay attention, you see these a lot.
Oh yeah,
Around
they're
the
everywhere.
area.
Oh yeah, Hemmings right now. I've got it on a favorited on Hemmings.
Maybe I was looking at these in 2021 and 2022. They were showing 40,000. Yeah.
No, that's as I said earlier. It's like the gap, right? Is if you really want like the perfect one, you're paying $30,000 to $40,000.
Have you driven one before?
You want a driver? You just
Have you driven one of these?
no, but I don't
I bet they're
care.
really, are they slow? They seem like this.
No,
doesn't seem
the
like there's any power in this motor.
1.8 liter red block is actually a decently quick motor.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like seepage.
It
here.
doesn't matter. how-
Especially if you take a look at it, it's a twin carb, so
Yeah, I saw
it's
that.
decently fueled.
It doesn't matter how it drives.
No, it does not matter how it drives.
No, it's just about hard
Yeah,
parking.
twin SUs. Look at those.
But okay, everyone picked the Volvo, so we're unilateral today on the Cadillac and the Volvo. So there we go. That is that. I'm checking time.
Crazy how Italy got outdone in both.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, suck it, Italy.
Okay. Do you want to find a car for this, or do you want to just
No, just keep going. This is long enough. So
Yeah. All right. So as for our scenario, I thought it'd be interesting to get some real-time data going for this one. So it's time to go racing. You are entering a competition at Laguna Seca pre lawsuit, in which you will be piloting a $2,000 sedan around for 24 hours, reverse on the track to make it more interesting. I guess when you're going uphill instead of downhill. The goal is to win and not break. That's it. The goal is to win and not break. The budget is $2,000 plus safety equipment, so you can spend as much money as you want on safety equipment. Engine can't be modified, but it can be refreshed. And brakes cannot be upgraded, but they can also be refreshed. And of course, full cage harness, all that stuff required. You have to find a real marketplace find for $2,000 or less, and that's what you'll be using for the race. So I'll go first. I found an E34.
This is basically a lemons.
It's an upgraded Lemons
Upgraded
experience,
Lemons,
yeah. So this is like not the best example, but it's $2,000, an E34, it's 530. So this has a small 3-liter V8 in it that produces about 180 horsepower. They're not fast, but an E34 is dynamic enough to be interesting on a road for a little bit. It's an automatic, which sucks, but these transmissions can be locked into gears, and their gearing is super long. So I could probably keep this in second and third gear the whole time and just lock it in and floor it everywhere. I mean, it's not going to be going very fast. With a refreshed M60, it's going to be stout enough for 24 hours. It'll quickly overheat after, but that is my choice for the car, and I would be piloting. I don't know if I would win, but I would survive. So that is mine. Ian, what'd you choose?
I'm doing it for Dale. Monte Carlo, baby.
2003 Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS.
$2,000.
$2,000.
$1,800 5 hours ago.
That's
Illinois.
good.
$1,800. It's got a busted bumper on it, but I want to live that. It's weird. This is the second time I've done this podcast with you guys in a row that I've brought some sort of NASCAR-esque vehicle.
It looks
yeah.
like it's ready to race.
It
Yeah,
is.
it does.
It is.
That shit's stolen.
That shit is stolen. But I mean, that gives you incentive to drive faster. I have no idea. I don't know anything about these cars.
Isn't Ellis in it or what?
I guess I don't know. I genuinely don't know anything about this car. I just know that it's a Monte Carlo. It's an SS. It looks right. It's a Chevy.
Race hell,
something.
praise Dale.
Yeah, it's right. Do it for Dale. Whatever. Full send.
Race hell, praise Dale.
Yeah, exactly. It's got a manual in it too, I believe. So no, it's automatic.
It just looks like a manual.
It looks like a
for the
pickup
power.
truck from behind.
I don't. Yeah. Okay. Then it's got whatever gearbox and blah blah
Probably
blah
like basic
engine
GM
and
4-speed.
So bad.
whatever. Yeah, man. Just your mistakes were made in that
Hey, you know
back
what?
seat.
For a $2,000 sedan, I think that this would do fine at Laguna Seca, and
It's
it wouldn't break.
It's got ground effect skirts on the sides.
Exactly.
It's
So
for
we're
aerodynamics.
already. I mean, you said you wanted something that was
It
going to
can
be.
drive upside down at Laguna Seca corkscrew.
I mean, the incentive was that it was going to be has to be a race car. I mean, in Monte Carlo, you can't get any more race car than that, right?
They did
Yep.
use them in the NASCAR, right?
Yeah, NASCAR.
Yeah.
Also, they had I think that they did have a Dale Earnhardt version of the.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
Monte Carlo.
I think it was blue, wasn't it? Blue. It was blue.
I don't remember,
Maybe
but
blue?
I think it had 24 like in Boston to the headrests. So it's practically a race car, boys.
Yeah.
There, yeah, or something like that. There you go.
This is it.
Skirts.
Maybe is that it? Yeah, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Monte Carlo SAS.
His
Hey,
number is 3 though.
Is it 3? What did I say? 24. Who's 24?
Edition. Yeah, there it is.
I don't know.
Look at that signature.
That signature on the back end, sticker
Bikes.
signature. Heck
240
yeah.
horsepower. Wait a minute.
Supercharged 3.8 liter V6. I wonder if that's just that specific version. Is it?
Let's find out now.
Oh, this is the great line actually. That's a shame too, because while it seems highly unlikely that this Monte Carlo will ever be a collector car, they're not totally abysmal to drive.
Wow, I didn't know they had V6s. That's too bad.
like
Maybe
a
the
V8.
SS has.
Who cares?
has
Who
the
cares? You just the title that is very, very, very rare, very dull.
Motor.
2004 Chevy Monte Carlo.
Yeah, hell yeah, it does, brother.
And very stolen.
Hell
I mean,
yeah,
that's 2007, so maybe not. But anyway,
It doesn't matter what engine's in there, what transmission's in there. You
What-
know for a fact
work,
that
yeah.
you're nailing
V8
it.
motor.
You're gonna you're gonna drink a natty light, and you're gonna go put your helmet on, and you're gonna raise hail and praise Dale, and you're gonna go out there and you're gonna have some good old fun. And so that's the purpose of that vehicle.
Yeah. You
then-
won the race. Yeah.
VJ chose a car that actually would be fine at this.
Either way,
That
either
one
way you
is
win.
definitely stolen. There's no doubt about it.
What the hell is going on with the suspension on our
Orlando, baby.
I mean, it's a $2,000 E36, and E36 is like the best beginner track car. You can-
Not that one.
I don't care.
God.
Like you said, you can refresh the engine, the brake, suspension.
Yeah, you can get it running well.
Yeah.
178,000 miles and what
Mint.
looks like clapped out suspension.
Exactly.
Everything is broken.
That
on
was
this.
definitely at a sideshow. Fucking killed 3 people.
You can see the blood on it. You can see
And
the
they're
blood
just dumping
splatter.
Yeah, you can tell right here.
Exactly,
Right here,
they're
there was a gas tank fire probably right here. right around
Yeah,
here.
someone hasn't been necessarily filling it up, like
Just trying to get an
They've
insurance
just been
payout.
like slowly doing
I think
this.
it's a good way to put this to death by racing it for 24 hours.
Yeah, send it. Just when it overheats, just keep running.
Yeah.
Hey,
We don't care.
look-
plastic
hey,
cooling system.
hey, Joe, it's your favorite color interior.
Not this, man. I like dark brown, not tan.
You have to use that gross ass steering wheel though too.
Yeah, you have to. This is part of the. That's part of the. This is part of the experience.
Yeah. That's,
Well, anyway, this would win. This would win, and it would survive. So VJ did win the argument here.
no, he won the race. Dale's.
Dale
Yeah.
won the race. I guess Dale
It
won the
doesn't
race.
matter. It doesn't matter if that car finishes. You've won.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got for you.
What's no power but sounds fun?
Yeah,
Monte Carlo SS?
Monte Carlo.
No power but sounds fun.
Honda Beat.
I just. What did we talk about? I just want to do trailer park things at some point. That's like all I want to do is some trailer park boys shit. Just do burnouts everywhere you go. It's a perfect car.
Well, we did good. We did good today.
Burnouts, fireworks, and fentanyl.
Anything else before we close out
Maybe not that last one.
this podcast?
You might have to blurt that out.
I think we're good. Like we had,
Sorry, dude.
we had actually.
I just-
Dang, you went way too Oakland.
I killed it.
That's
I killed their monetary value. You're right there, my bad.
like shockingly, we had actual consumer advice. This
Yeah, so
episode.
yeah, the consumer. Yeah, so if you're going to take anything from this podcast, one, subscribe to our channel and
yeah.
please like the video and also comment down below what car you would be purchasing for $2,000 to race at Laguna Seca with us. And secondly, if you decide that you don't want to, if you can't, you have to sell a car. You have to sell a car. I get it. Sometimes things happen, but if you can afford not to, just don't sell it. Don't buy anything either, because people are wanting too much money for their cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the consumer advice.
And
Hold
we're
on to
also
your
looking
shit.
at guys or people to freaking help us out with a co-host. So at any time, if you guys are interested in coming in to co-host at some point, just hit us up in the chat.
Yeah, if you're
and,
interested in co-hosting, I mean, we'll make it work for you guys. So, it'll be fun.
that's it.
If this is fun for you, let's make it happen.
Can confirm. It's fun.
Okay.
Cool.
See you guys later.